While most of us were in lockdowns during the pandemic, reports of internet crime skyrocketed. So this morning, we want to show you how scam artists use real people's names and photos without their knowledge to create fake accounts. From April to June this year, Facebook removed more than 1.7 billion fake accounts from its site. But it's impossible to know how many are actually out there. Our Dr. Tara Narula shows us how scam artists are causing big problems for social media users, including someone very close to her. Okay.
This is Petty Officer Mike Sensi and his dog Lucy. But go online and it's difficult to find Mike Sensi.
Do you have any idea how many fake Mikes there may be out there using your picture?
Too many. I would probably say, 500-600 over the different social media platforms.
500 or 600 impersonations of you.
About 5 or 6 years ago, he started seeing his real name and images used on fake social media accounts for dating scams and other online cons.
Do you have any idea how many people at this point in time have been scammed or what they might have lost financially? How much?
Somebody messaged me probably about 2 years ago, and they said they've sent over $15,000 of their own money. Every single day, I get a message from somebody who has been, duped out of money or have put, months of their life into somebody romantically who they thought they were talking to, and it wasn't them. So I feel bad for those people.
And he's not alone. One night, my husband received an Instagram message from a woman in Brazil. She said she was speaking with a man calling himself Ryan, but later realized something was wrong, and it was. The photos were of my husband and my kids, and they were being used for an apparent scam. And earlier this month, CBS News correspondent Charlie D'Agata warned someone created a fake account using his pictures, writing, "If you love me, please report them."
How easy is it to create a fake account?
It's really easy. It's a little too easy.
Issy Lepowski is chief correspondent for the tech news website Protocol.
So let's pick a username.
She showed us how to create an account using just an email address, fake name, and the image of one of our CBS News producers.
Okay, and here's Randy Lewis, 555212.
And here we are.
And then gradually I'm gonna build out this profile, so you want to recreate a life.
How can you possibly know if your image is being used as part of a scam?
A lot of people find out because they're told. Another way is to do a reverse image search, so you can see, hey, is my photo showing up in any places I don't recognize or pretending to be anybody I don't know?
We did just that with an image of my husband by going to Google Images, clicking the camera icon, and uploading the picture.
These are pages that include the image, so here's one.
Oh, great. So my husband's photo is being used to meet guys for dating on Top Face.
Sorry to break that news to you.
And while reporting fake accounts on Instagram is easy,
To go up to these three dots right here, you're gonna click Report User.
And that's it.
That's it.
Mike Sensi says it doesn't always work.
When it first started happening, Instagram was really good about deleting the profiles, but it kind of went away. I'll report them myself, and they literally message back and say, oh, they're not doing anything wrong, we can't take the profile down.
Do you think some of the social media platforms should be doing more to protect people's security?
Absolutely. Everyone says just put your stuff on private, but at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to censor myself and my social media to appease other people who are using it in the wrong way.
Instagram told us, quote, claiming to be another person on Instagram violates our community guidelines, and we have a dedicated team that's tasked with detecting and blocking these kinds of scams. And I brought a special guest with me for this segment, 60 Minutes Plus correspondent Lori Siegel, who's been covering stories like this and saw us report the fake Instagram account with my husband's pictures. Lori, I have to tell you, this is so frustrating. As a mama bear, protective of my husband and my kids, we actually reported this last fake account, Dr. Cangelo 11, which is not my husband's Instagram account, 2 weeks ago. And I looked this morning, it's still up. So what else can we do?
I mean, first of all, let's acknowledge, psychologically, this is really hard when this happens, right? This feels incredibly violating. So you can report it to the FTC. I had a top security professional guy named Chris Hadnaghy analyze your husband's fake profile, and what whoever did, the person or people behind this, what they did was they took from his public Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and created a fake Instagram profile and bought a fake number on the internet, and so people could contact him, right?
So there was a phone number.
It's easy to do all of that. And so what you could do, right, and you heard Mike say this in the piece, is you could privatize all of your social media, but we're sitting here in public. You're a public figure. He likely relies on social media to do this. So it's a really complicated problem. I would say the next step, report it to the FTC. You know, you can try to ping Instagram and Facebook again, but it sounds like you've already reported it.
We have multiple times.
Right.
Yes.
It's frustrating to hear it's still up. I can't
It
believe
is.
that. Yeah, that 2 weeks ago and it's still up.
Yeah, I don't know what's taken so long.
Yeah.
One wonders. I'm curious, how many or what percentage of social media users do we think have their identity stolen and used for fake accounts?
Good question.
I mean, in short, a lot. You know, Facebook had an estimate that the fake accounts on the platform represent about 5% of its worldwide monthly
That's a
active
big number.
users. So that's exactly right. You could say 5%. Okay, well, Facebook has almost 3 billion users. So that's a lot. Then there's also research to suggest that between 5 to 15% of accounts on Twitter are fake. And we've all talked about this with bots and manipulation and political manipulation. So it's really a large number. And from your own personal experience, it's only getting worse. And it's a really violating type of scam.
We've been talking about social media and the impact it has on kids, in particular teen girls. A few days ago, I got a message from an older woman, and she said, can you guys talk about fake accounts and scammers leaning on the loneliness of women?
Yeah.
And is there anything that these women who might be lonely, who might have lost their husband, and they're being approached by accounts that they don't know if they're real, and some of them being scammed out of their heart and money, what should they look out for?
You know, that's so heartbreaking. And you talk about your husband's picture being used with your children.
Right. And that was the worst part.
And I can imagine how violating that is. And I think that's what a lot of these folks do. Chris Hadnaghy, the security professional I spoke to, was telling me about obituaries and how a lot of these scammers will go and look to see if someone recently passed away, and then they'll target widows online.
Oh, wow.
You know, but also I think what's important to mention is a lot of the people that get impersonated are people who seem trustworthy.
Doctors.
Veterans, doctors, right, military folks, and those are a lot of the people who have their photos stolen. So
I
look
still
out
don't
for
hear a
that,
solution
too.
here, guys.
Right.
About how we can stop it or avoid it or.
I think, look, I think we pressure our tech companies to do a better job when you're able to report this, to take this down. I think it's really, it's not okay that weeks later that this is still up.
Yeah.
I think we have to educate people, educate our parents, right? Educate our loved ones.
Have skepticism. It's okay.
Yeah,
to have
you know,
skepticism.
don't send money to a love interest if you haven't met them in
True.
person. Or, I mean, you should have that conversation in general, but,
Yeah.
you know, if you get a message from someone asking for money, you know, for financial relief, call them before you.
Tara, that is
do it.
very upsetting because
Good
you were
advice.
just randomly checking David's picture and there he is.
Oh, yeah. When we were
I just-
taping the
wow.
segment, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it was these top-face dating sites from Afghanistan and West Africa,
Wow.
and really all of these places I had no idea.
Aye.
Well, they pick people who they think look good.
He's very handsome, and so is the veteran we had on there.
If I do,
Not a coincidence.
without being inappropriate, he is very handsome. Thank you, Dr. Tara Narula and Lori Siegel. Good to have you both here.